Hello, beloved listeners, and welcome to Snake People at the Movies, film criticism by people who actually like film. Join us as we dive into movies we love, movies we respect, and movies we wish we could unsee. It's the podcast where we talk about growing up and living queer, nerdy, and depressed online and at the cinema. From the kids who used to stage sword fights in their living rooms, it's Sneople at the Movies. I'm Helena.
And I'm Matty. Ezra could not join us today. We just had a scheduling conflict and couldn't quite pull it together, so it's just going to be the two of us. Unfortunately, you got the two chaotic energies for this episode, but that's all right, because we're going to be discussing an appropriately chaotic movie, so...
Yep. We're going to be talking about the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. We will be talking about that. We want to talk about the movies that we've seen since we last met first, but I just wanted to say right at the beginning... We're finally doing it. We caved 11 episodes in, 12 episodes in, 11 episodes in. How many episodes do we have?
This is our 11th episode.
11th episode that held out to keep me from yelling about Pirates of the Caribbean, and I'm very proud of myself.
You didn't even bring it up. I was the one who was like, oh, we should talk about Pirates of the Caribbean. So, yeah.
I was waiting for the trap to be set and just like let the bear amble into the woods.
Just fucking snick. Just right on my dumb ass.
I got it. So
got him again.
What movies have you seen, Matty, since we last recorded?
So I did a bunch of rewatches. So I rewatched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang after we did the episode. Still so fucking good. I want to rewatch it again immediately, but I'm like, no, just relax, just calm down. I rewatched John Wick 1, shocking absolutely nobody. I did get made fun of for it on Twitter, that's fine, I deserved it. I rewatched parts of Pirates of the Caribbean 1. I'm like, how far would you say I am?
Oh, you're like in the first third, still the first act of the movie, I'd say. I don't know, it depends on
really. So I just paused at, like, Jack is with everybody else in the cave, and Will and Elizabeth have split.
Because they haven't had the big battle between the Pearl and the Interceptor yet. And that's kind of, like, the definitive...
Is this movie way longer than I think it is?
Probably.
This movie is way longer than I remember it being. So anyway, I got about a third of the way through Pirates of the Caribbean 1.
1.5. 1.5 of the way. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway.
What are you talking about?
1.5 out of a third of the way through, which isn't a real number or a real fraction.
So it's an additional sixth is what you're saying?
Yes. Thank you, math people.
Okay. Anyway, so I got that far into the Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm 4/6. Right? No. Wait, that's bad. That's bad math. Fuck me. Shut up. Anyway, so... Pirates of the Caribbean 1. And then I also saw the new Godzilla movie, which was so good. It was so good. I love monster movies so much, and I love Godzilla movies, and this was a really good one. I'm so excited because they set up Godzilla versus Kong, and the entire time, Ben and I were like, Godzilla versus Kong! Godzilla versus Kong! Bring it to me! Bring it to me! So now I have to see the one with Tom Hiddleston.
Oh, yes, no. That's right. They're bringing... I don't know why... you're scared about that because that also has Brie Larson in it, and that's
no, that was good. A sarcastic oh no, like oh no, I have to see it. Yeah, it has Brie Larson and Tom Hiddleston.
I love both of them,
and I love both of them. Yeah, so unfortunately, that was really good. That's what I've seen.
I have to see it too. I mean that King Kong version that I haven't seen.
Well, we
yet.
can watch it together then. Good.
Yeah. How was Bradley Whitford? How was my man Bradley Whitford in Godzilla?
Oh, he was a fucking delight. I knew he was in it coming into it, and I have a connection with Bradley Whitford, but I kept being like, Ben, it's Bradley Whitford, and Ben was like, okay. I was like, no, listen to me.
No,
listen to me. That's Josh. That's Josh right there. That's my dad. Listen to me. He's like clearly the comedic relief scientist, and he plays that part to the hilt, and he plays it super good. Ugh. There's this one stupid line where someone's like Godzilla shows up, and someone's like, oh my god, and he says Zilla, and it's so stupid. It's so stupid. But his delivery is about as good as it could get for as stupid of a line as that. He delivered it perfectly. You're like, oh, you stupid asshole, shut up.
I love him.
I love him so much. It was like really solid performances all around.
Cool.
I forget the name of one of the other scientists, but I adore him. I'll think of it later, I'm sure. In like a flash of epiphany, I'll just suddenly shout somebody's name. But yeah, just like script was okay. Weird like fetishization, that was bad. But like weird treatment of like specifically like Northeastern Asian cultures like Chinese and Japanese, like which is like that's how Godzilla movies are sometimes in like the West. But every time I'm like, must we do this? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, okay.
Okay,
I
fine.
guess.
Yeah, not fine, but like, because that's been my only thing. Well, not my only thing, because I saw the first Godzilla movie that came out 5 years ago now, I guess, which I guess is a prequel to this one.
Yes.
It was directed by
that was 5 years ago.
Rogue One. Yeah. And just a lot of the discussion around that movie coming out, which is like, I don't know, America appropriating this story specifically that was like allegorical for the trauma that the Japanese went through after Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and like that was really interesting, and to think about in that context. So I haven't really gotten into any of the other American versions of Godzilla, but I want to expand my monster movie knowledge, as it were.
Yes, come with me. Take my hand. But that's a fair point. I talked about doing a monster movie episode. We should, because I think that's a very fair point to make. They actually talk about it a little bit in this one, where they talk about like the reason all the Titans are showing up again is because of like man-made. Like, the reason Godzilla comes back is because of, like, they specifically were like, Godzilla came back because of atomic warfare. Like, that is, we specifically did that, and that brought Godzilla back. So they do make a reference to that.
Right.
And I think I
mean, it's
I am
not
hesitant. No, that's not saying that, like, we should be hesitant about...
I was going to say, like,
We're
no, you're
talking
fine.
over each other.
I was going to say, like, this is only, like, a discussion that I have, like, tipped my toe into, and I haven't really, which I understood, like, having, like, a very, very, very basic knowledge of the Godzilla mythos, but it's not something that I'm overly familiar with, so I wouldn't be able to talk about it very knowledgeably. But yeah, that's why we should do some more monster movie episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, like, it just made me want to watch Pacific Rim again, the first one.
Yes.
And we should just do an episode on Pacific Rim, because, like, boy, we sure did name my cat after the main character in that movie, didn't we?
Sure did. Hello, Raleigh.
God, I just fucking love Mecha also. Anyway, so Helena, what did you see? What have you seen?
I've seen very little. I also rewatched a movie. I rewatched just last night the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, the first one.
Yes.
Tobey Maguire. It's so good. It's still so very good. I've seen this movie a lot. But I was very, very struck this time by like how good the script is, like how quickly things move. Like 10 minutes into this movie, or 10 or 15 minutes in, we're getting both Peter being bitten by a spider and Green Goblin origin story starting. And it's like, yeah, let's just keep things clipping. Let's keep things moving along. And there's such good setup and payoff, and it's so iconic. The kiss, even, it's like, yeah.
Set the stage for so much. That became like, that kiss is specifically a cultural touchstone, which is like very weird, but... Because I'm sure somebody that we know will correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to think of a point in the Spider-Man comics where they do something like that. I'm sure they do, but like that's not what most people are pulling from. They're pulling from that scene in that movie.
Yeah.
It is, dare I say, iconic.
It's so good. It is iconic. Everything about Willem Dafoe is iconic in that movie.
He's so good.
He's so manic. Kirsten Dunst is so good in that movie, and it's just like everything is really simple and really just straightforwardly plotted, and I really appreciated that. J.K. Simmons is also fantastic in it. A lot of good character acting in it, which I really appreciate. Yeah, so I love that movie very much. I'm really glad I rewatched that last night. And then I saw Booksmart like last week or a couple weeks ago in theaters, which was amazing, and I loved it. A lot of people have probably already heard of Booksmart, but if you haven't, it's the debut film of Olivia Wilde, who is an actress, and this is her first film as a director. And it's a kind of vaguely raunchy, but like not vaguely raunchy, pretty raunchy teen comedy about two academically obsessed teenage girls on the last day of school, on the brink of graduation, realizing that they sacrificed all of their ability to like be a teenager to get into a good school because they thought you could only have it one way, and they realized actually everybody else is also going to amazing schools, and they learned to have a social life. So now we have approximately one night to have the full high school experience, and things go very wrong, as you can imagine. But it was really good, and there's really great lesbian representation in that movie, which felt very honest and very real, and it was very sweet. A lot of really great characters, and everyone looked like they were having so much fucking fun. I was like, I want to make movies so bad right now. I was like sitting in the like audience watching these teenagers have like teenagers and 20-somethings, which I am also a 20-something, obviously, but people younger than me having such a good time making this movie, and I was like, God damn it, like I want to do this.
I want to do that. Yeah.
I want to do that. Like I already knew that, but it was really refreshing to like see a movie that actually reminded me that there are directors out there who are making that kind of shit worth working on. So anyway, Booksmart is very good, and if you like comedies, you should see it because it's good. That's that on that.
I hadn't heard what the plot was, so that's good to know. I was like, I think that there's lesbians in it. That's literally all I know. I'll have to give that a shot. Talk about my high school fucking experience. Yipes.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting because like overall, I think they have a very positive like experience in high school, even though they've fucked up. So it was interesting because I was relating to it from both the point of view of like, yes, I too was a teenager once, but also that kind of nostalgia of graduation, not from high school, but from college. Like, oh, that's the feeling I felt about the people that I graduated with in college. So it was kind of this double like, double mirroring back of that experience and that sort of missed youth or missed opportunity thing. Missed youth. I'm 26 years old.
Yeah, no, we're fucking ancient. God, we're so old.
I'm old. I'm
allowed to say stuff like that because my birthday's this month, so I'm feeling age just creeping upon my heels. Well, yeah, that sounds like a worthwhile watch then.
Yeah, I recommend it highly.
Oh, I was talking with Leia last night about a very similar topic, so that's been on my mind, so good timing.
Cool. So...
But fuck other movies. The only movie that really matters is Pirates of the Caribbean 1, Curse of the Black Pearl. So
I know where I'm coming from with this. Where are you coming from with Curse of the Black Pearl?
I really love it. I remember, I think we figured out the timeline once about, I remember looking, you know, when you used to look in the paper to see when movies were coming out and like when you could see them and stuff. For the second one, and I was 13 at the time, I was like, finally I could go see this in theaters. And I remember also being like, oh shit, I didn't realize there was going to be a second one, because they end the first one on like the movie could end here, or they could make another one. Right. But I hadn't heard that they were going to make another one, so I had like that like elation of like, oh shit, they're going to make another one. I really, really liked the first one. You and I have seen it together like one in a million times, like every day. Yeah. Not every time, but many times when we did movie marathons together, we ended up watching Curse of the Black Pearl, I feel. Or one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. That's like, we watched that a lot. And I watched it a lot, like, on my own, too. So I remember the first time I ever saw it was in, like, the basement of a family friend's. And I was, like, not yet 13, but, like, you know, my fucking dad was there. And the scene where they reveal that they're all like they was skeletons the whole time definitely wigged me out. I was such a scaredy cat as a kid. It didn't give me nightmares like I thought it was going to, but I liked. It says a lot that I was a scaredy cat, but I liked that movie so much I wanted to see it again.
Yeah.
I own the 2-disc special set that I got at like the CD Game Exchange.
Oh hell yeah, I do too.
And the DVD skips a lot. I need to fix that, but...
Oh, no.
I don't think I based as much of my personality off of it as you did. But I do, like, it holds... Specifically the first one, but all of them hold a very, like, special place in my heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm surprised that my DVD hasn't started skipping yet, because we've basically had it since it came out. Yeah, I would say about 30% of my personality... maybe more is just this movie.
For the listener at home, I was watching it in the background while we were planning, and Helena kept hearing parts of it over my like microphone and was quoting it as it was happening in almost perfect time. It was amazing.
I've seen this movie a lot. I first saw it... Okay, so rewind. This is probably my favorite movie ever. Mm-hmm. Which again, like we were talking about this earlier, and I wish I had a more like sophisticated answer for like what's your favorite movie.
Yeah, you wish your favorite movie was Hot Fuzz, huh?
I do wish my favorite movie was Hot Fuzz. But you have people being like, oh, my favorite movie is like Wild Strawberries or some other just like pulling out an Ingmar Bergman movie out of their ass.
Movie is Wild Strawberries.
Well, I don't know. Somebody's is.
That's right. Somebody's is. I shouldn't
Somebody's
laugh.
is.
That's not
or
fair.
I haven't actually seen it, but I've heard it is one of his better movies. And I wish I could say, yeah, it's an Ingmar Bergman film or something, but it isn't. It's Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl, which is a Disney movie
Disney ride.
based on a theme park ride from Disneyland.
Admittedly, a very good theme park ride.
Oh yes, I thought you said in Italy, a very good theme park ride, and I was like, I didn't know.
Oh yeah, in America
Disneyland
it fucking
Italy.
sucks, but the one in Italy is great.
Yeah, I saw this movie in theaters when I was 10 at Eastport Plaza the summer it came out, and I loved it. I think immediately. We got it on DVD, and that was kind of the summer that my parents first started like trusting me to be home alone, I guess, or like the summer after that, maybe when I was more like 11. And I'm an only child, so I was living the dream. I put Pirates of the Caribbean in the DVD like every fucking day when my parents were out at work, and I would just watch Pirates of the Caribbean, and I would pretend, like mime the sword fight in the blacksmiths, like in my living room. I imprinted hard on this movie. So I'm very excited to talk about it because I have just so many great things to say about it.
It's so good, even outside of like childhood like nostalgia shit. Like rewatching it it's been a minute. It's been like maybe a year. Like it hasn't been a long time because it's Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. Of course, I've seen it recently, but it's been long enough where I was like, this movie still holds up extremely well.
Yeah. I don't think it's been that long for me because I know that if I look back on the Discord and the live blogging channel, I'll find like me 6 months ago or like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I think it was a few months ago.
Yeah, maybe I'm like, guess I'm gonna watch Pirates of the Caribbean again.
I don't know if it was 2019, but maybe it was like late 2018.
Yeah. Yeah, God, where to start?
There's a lot. Do we want to start with the music? Because I feel like the music is such a great backbone for everything in that movie.
Yes.
I was during the like, once again, iconic blacksmith like fight scene. The part at the beginning where the orchestra like is choreographed to the fight scene, and when they pause, the music stops.
Yeah.
And then picks up again and then stops. And it's like, it is delicious.
So
it is so good. It sets the mood very well, and it gets you very invested because you're hearing the action as well as seeing it, kind of the staging of the action with the music, and oh god, it's just so good. And then after that, even the music doesn't perfectly match up, but it's still like the orchestra was very, very well done.
Yeah, the music is fantastic, and it's really simple too in this one. I will consistently say that, like, we will talk about the other parts of the Caribbean movies in later episodes, but the music is like the one thing that I think is consistently good across all of the movies. But it's so simple in this one, and it does its job so well.
It's very practical is kind of the word I want. Like, it definitely like puts in the work. It's not flashy.
No.
But it serves a purpose, and it's
catchy as hell.
Yeah, I was literally, as we were preparing, humming the like da, 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 like, and that's just like ingrained in my head. And I think of the head of any kid who grew up watching this movie is you're like Pirates of the Caribbean, and your brain's just like like it's listening to you don't think like, oh, I mean, some of you do, but like, I'm not a person who listens to soundtracks. I think usually they go with the movie, and like otherwise I'm like, but this is like, I want to listen to this soundtrack because it invokes scenes from the movie to listen to the soundtrack.
I highly recommend it because, well, first of all, for a thing, I am definitely a person who listens to film soundtracks, so I am that person already. But the soundtrack to this movie is, you can listen to it in like a hot 45 minutes, like the whole thing, which is really great. And it's just so much fun. It also kind of makes me cry a little bit. There's some music that plays during the finale that leads into the credits, like the last like 5 minutes of the movie, which just kind of like are really moving and touching. And I'll post a whatever Spotify link or YouTube link to which track that is specifically once this episode's out. But that's notable, I think, because I don't actually cry while watching Pirates of the Caribbean, and I feel like generally it's not a movie that most people like, that's a tearjerker right there. But it does make me kind of emotional. There's something really really sweet about the music in that finale. Mm-hmm. It's very good, and like and the music matching with the stunts. You were saying something about the stunts that was really cool.
Yes, it comes up first, or the first time I really like noticed it is when one of the beginning scenes where Jack is escaping and he cuts the rope and he goes up. So many of the stunts in this movie use multiple dimensions. A lot of stunts they carry a forward momentum. They're just going from one side of the screen to the other. That's how they tend to work. Sometimes they go up and down, but not very often, I feel. The stunts in this movie make a great use of every level of space. Like even the blacksmith's fight, they go back and forth, they go around, they go up and down. This I said later that this movie has a lot of great weight to the actions. Like when they kick off the lid of the chest, you can feel the thump. When somebody goes up on a rope, you like feel the like whoosh going up. There's a lot of good like tension, and by tension I mean like the tension in a rope, not like dramatic tension in a lot of the movements, and that's something that's like very impressive. It's a very good use of space. It's unusual to use it like that.
In the cave scene, which you haven't gotten to yet, but towards the end of the movie, even in that one, when Barbossa and Jack are fighting, they're like going all the way up and down the hills and like in the cave, and like really, really using the space, which is a very Hollywood set type of like enclosed space that they're in, but it's still so fun. I just love it. It feels a little bit more like a classic Hollywood stage way of dealing, you're dealing with a stage. They're moving from background to foreground, and side to side, where like most places that are shot on location, you don't get such a physical sense of like their movement in a space. Yeah. Because there's not usually like a set parameter of space. It feels a little bit more natural. But the fact that this feels more like a physical stage actually works in favor of Pirates of the Caribbean, where sometimes it can feel kind of like, not cheesy is not the word I want, but it doesn't feel very professional sometimes. No, it makes it feel very like physical, which is it's very just delightful. Yeah. In a great way. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's something that these movies are really, or this movie in particular, rather, I don't want to give credit to the other ones. This is like, this movie had a lot of fun with itself and the genre that it was in without being too like winky wink nudge nudge, which is can like definitely go over the top sometimes. But it's fully embracing the fact that it's an adventure movie and that it's a kids movie or a family movie or whatever, and adhering to like the classic, you know, structures and limitations of that genre, but also having fun with it.
I think something I've noticed especially in the past like couple of months, but as I've gotten older, something I appreciate in movies is movies that know that what they're doing is kind of goofy, but they are in love with the fact that they are doing something kind of goofy, and they are aware that you also love that what they are doing is goofy, and like, doesn't that kick ass? Like like Detective Pikachu was like that, or like Godzilla was like that. Like a lot of movies are just like, what we're doing right now is just kind of off the wall and like, yeah, kind of dumb, and that fucking rules. Like, let's just run with it and let's just do it and let's take it like seriously, but with like good humor. I think that makes such a great impact rather than something that is wink wink nudge nudge about it. Like, I don't like stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm in on the joke. Great, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not entertained though.
It's something like how I think anybody who was obsessed with pirates as a kid, like, later grows up to try and read like nonfiction about pirates and is always really disappointed because like every nonfiction writer about pirates is being a very good historian and saying like, people romanticize pirates, but you shouldn't do that because they weren't romantic and everything. And it's like, yeah, okay, sure, but like, where's
the panache?
There's something about those movies.
Where's
that's
the
just
style?
Like, where's the flash? Yeah, it's just, what was I going to say? Something about this movie being very good, I'm sure.
This movie has the style. It has the panache. It has the flash. It has, like, you're like, pirates are kind of gross. Like, these people, overall, kind of gross.
Yeah.
And but also, they're fucking pirates!
So much fun, though. Yeah, it's like...
it's so cool!
Yeah, they're just so good. You have to get off this train of thought, or else I'm just going to be saying that sentence.
We're just going to be like, God, Pirates of the Caribbean's so good. God, like, Black Pearl's just so fucking good, right?
Hey, do you know who I love?
Who do you love?
I love Norrington.
I was going to say, do you love our wife, James Norrington? The collective wife.
This entire, like, Google Doc is just me saying, I love Norrington, I love music, I love script, I love this, I love that. But I do love Norrington, genuinely. He's a peach. He's amazing.
This whole podcast, Ezra included, loves Norrington.
Oh, yeah.
What about him is so compelling as a character? Because
I
can tell you why, but like...
Well, I think that, and it's interesting because I think some people, I remember growing up, you were either like, you were into Jack or you were into Will, which, gross. I mean, but...
And you were like, Norrington's boring.
Norrington's boring, and he's like too good or whatever, and he's like...
He's not a pirate.
He's getting in the way of the central romantic triangle the central romantic duo of the movie.
Yeah.
But he is the rival for Elizabeth's affections, but there's something notable about him, which is like, at the end of the movie, Norrington steps back and he says, like, okay, this is clearly not what you want. You don't want me, and I would rather you be with the person that you love rather than be with me and be miserable. And he, like, throughout the entire movie, that's all he's ever trying to do. He is the romantic, like, interloper or whatever, the rival, but he's only ever trying to do good. He's not, what's the word I'm looking for?
He doesn't see himself as a romantic rival. He's not fighting for her affections. If he doesn't have her affections, that's cool. Like, he wants her affections to go with whomsoever they go with, and if that's not with him, like, so be it. He would rather her be happy. Yeah.
And the movie, I think the movie interestingly leads us down to first of all think that he's going to be that character, because he proposes to her in a really, like, inelegant way, and she faints, and he's like, oh no. He actually does try to go save her, but and then when she when she's kidnapped, and then Will goes to save her, and they're like, why are you risking our ship to do this, sir? Please, why? He says that line that's like, I'd rather see her at the bottom of the ocean than in the hands of a pirate, which is like, ooh, what? But also, you know, they understand the motivation behind that line. Like, he's so driven by his hatred of pirates and everything that...
Right. He's not seeing it as like, I would rather her be dead than be in love with a pirate. He's saying what will happen to her at the hands of pirates is worse than her being dead.
Yes, exactly.
It's not a jealousy thing. It's like her fate currently is worse than death.
Yeah.
Which is, and like...
Fair point. Yeah, he's very, very good. He's very beautiful. He has beautiful green eyes, and...
Stop.
And he has... I'm just writing my fan fiction description of Norrington, and he has a wig like the bloody
orbs.
ice cream. Those beautiful sea green orbs. Yeah, no, the movies I think wanted us to like Norrington though, just a little bit, because he is played by Jack Davenport, who is so earnest and so like likable.
He is absolutely charming in all his like standoffishness.
Yeah, he's definitely a snarker for sure, but
he's an English fucking Commodore. Like, this is a naval man. Of course he's standoffish.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him so compelling.
And you can see, like, why he's Commodore, because he's so much more competent than, like, every other person.
Everybody else! Literally everybody else.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to the movies. I think there's also something very compelling about, like, staunchness, steadfastness, loyalty, and duty in the face of overwhelming odds and, like, overwhelming... Like, something pushing you to change.
Yeah.
And knowing at your core what you are and refusing to move. I think that's that's like part of the reason why he is so compelling. And we'll get into that when I talk about the fashions later.
We'll talk about the fashions now if you like.
Well, I was going to say, do you want to talk about we wrote essays.
We did.
The Matty and Helena essays in this document
but you've made such
very
a lovely,
telling to our characters.
You've made such a lovely segue into it. I feel like
whatever.
Go for it.
You know what? Okay, I'll talk about my fashions. So part of it is that, like, first of all, the looks in this movie, phenomenal.
Ugh.
Made me gay. But very contrast, I almost said in contrast, in contrast to the MCU, where sometimes they really struggle with how do we dress. Like, the way we dress defines us, I think, as people. It's a way of self-expression. And it's a way of setting up character development and character arc and, like, setting personality. MCU struggles with that sometimes. Pirates of the Caribbean doesn't. It uses it very well. And I noticed that Jack's walking around and he is jangling everywhere. He is a magpie. And you look at him show up and you're like, that's a pirate. And that is good costuming. That you know right away he's covered in a lot of different layers. He's got lots of little bits of jewelry. He looks kind of scruffy. He's loud. His personality is loud, and the way he dresses is loud. And that is who he is, and you know right away exactly what kind of character he's going to be. Mm-hmm. And it's the same with Will, too. You see Will, and first of all, he, like, breaks off part of a candelabra and stuffs it in an umbrella stand, and you're like, you dumb asshole, I love you. But he's, like, very simple. He's very practical. He's wearing, like, browns. He's not wearing a lot of bright colors. He's very, like, neutral tone. And then later he's wearing, like, a vest and a shirt, and he accessorizes with a peach scarf, and that's as wild as it gets. Like, he doesn't really start upping his fashion game until he accepts that he is a pirate, and then he starts to dress loud. Yeah. Because that's the way that pirates dress.
And he's learned from the best.
And he's learned from Jack, like, the loudest pirate of all time. And that says a lot about Will, in that he's the apprentice to a blacksmith. He's from a quote-unquote lower class. He's, like, practical in all things. And he's very, like, lawful good. Like, Will Turner at the beginning is lawful good, and that's just who he is. And he, like, very much dresses to his standing. And then Norrington, specifically, I'll get back to Elizabeth because she kind of breaks the mold. But Norrington for the entire movie, from when you see them coming over from England, he is only wearing his uniform.
Yeah.
That is it. Because his whole thing is, like I said, it's duty. And like that holds him together, be it like duty to the crown, duty to like his ship, or like the duty or the love that he feels for Elizabeth, and the way he holds that in a place of honor is very important to him. He has like little pieces that he holds true to, and that is represented in the fact that he is wearing his naval uniform the entire time. He does not wear casual wear. He is on the job.
His wig like never comes off.
His wig never comes off. It's not till in the last movie, I think, that you see him without.
It's in the second one, which is why everybody lost their collective goddamn minds when it happened.
Right.
Because he never had it off in the first one. It made it so much more effective.
Right. And then you see him in the second one, and he's lost the thing that made him, how he defined himself for most of his life. He's lost that. And it like you can tell the second you see him that something is very wrong, because he's out of his uniform.
I think very brilliantly, one of the few things that Dead Man's Chest does really well is that with that fashion, I think when we see him for the first time in the second movie, he is wearing his wig, only his wig looks terrible. He's wearing his this tricorn hat that's not quite his hat, but it looks terrible, and he's still wearing his uniform, so he's still clinging on to these symbols of what he stood for, but it's all just gone to shit.
Right, but it doesn't he's holding on to it, and it has let him go.
Yeah.
It's betrayed him almost, and you see that he's clinging to this thing that no longer has that gives a shit about him anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then with Elizabeth, it's a little different. A lot of the movie, she is wearing things that other people have chosen for her, or things that have been forced upon her, which is ain't that what it's like being a woman, am I right? But that's, a lot of her life is she's been sheltered and repressed and told what to do. But her hair starts to change is the weird part, where the further it goes on, the more you see it go from this very quote unquote in fashion London, pompadour, awful. It's awful. It is awful, the hair that they have her in. And then it goes to her natural let down hair, and that's very telling. And then later on in the movie, so you see her start to choose her own clothes, and she starts to wear more pirate gear, and that's her claiming the parts of herself that she wants rather than what has always been forced upon her. And you see that in her costume. And this is what I'm saying, is that we should be paying more attention to costuming in movies, because it's fucking important. There's pieces all over the internet about the way the women's hair is styled in different pieces of media very much can reflect the different kinds of characters there are. And I don't remember well enough to comment on it right now, but hair down is always freedom, obviously. It also usually means innocent, which is not really what's happening with her. In fact, she's kind of going through the opposite, where she's seeing the real world for the first time.
Well, it's kind of like in the Mummy, the 1999 Mummy. Rachel Weisz's character has her hair up for a good portion of that movie, and there's a certain point where she lets her hair down and just kind of is yeah, I'm just gonna just fucking wing it with the fashion thing. And that's kind of, she's very similar to Elizabeth. I think these movies are very similar in many ways. But where she's kind of always has that spirit of adventure in her, but she just needs to have an opportunity for that to let loose and
become who she wants to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is definitely a little bit of the loosening of the ties that bound her, which is interesting that you see that, even though she's still technically imprisoned for this part of the movie at least. So anyway, that's what I had to say about fashions.
Should I read my essay?
Yes, please. Let's move from essay to essay.
Essay to essay. All right. So I wrote a little miniature essay about the script. This movie was, I've talked about already about how impactful this movie was for me. one of the reasons is because this made me interested in movies actively, I think. I think this is like the first time this made me aware of how a movie was telling its story, how it was setting up its story, and how it was showing it to me. I think the script is very good, and I think it's very simple, which is appropriate that I talked briefly at the beginning of this about Spider-Man, because I think that movie also does a very similar thing very successfully, which is like, let's get into the hook really quickly, let's set all of these things up at the beginning, and then we can get into these very clear motivations that drive the plot. Each character in Pirates of the Caribbean, each central character has a specific want or need that is central to driving the plot forward. It's not like disconnected somehow. And each character in this movie has that want resolved. And that's important, I think, because there's so many reasons like why the other movies, I think, didn't work as well. And I think that part of that, because they all have like the same crew, they have the same people who like wrote the script and worked on the movie, and so why did they write such a good script for this movie and then not do that for the other ones? And part of that, I think, is that this movie resolves itself really well, even though it leaves that ending kind of open to the possibility of the story continuing. It still resolves all of these characters' arcs within that movie. Every character has wants something that is central to driving the plot. Jack wants the pearl back, which also like symbolizes like complete having freedom for him. Very literally, he says that in that monologue on the beach. Barbossa and the other pirates want to lift the curse. Elizabeth wants to have an adventure, and she wants to resolve her relationship with Will also. Will wants to, we just have written here, something father, something identity, which is basically
he wants to resolve his identity. He wants to be at peace with who he is.
Like, who am I?
Yeah, and partially I think you could argue he wants to be at peace with who he is, so he knows he is a man that is worthy of Elizabeth.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And that doesn't always work out for him very well, because there are several times when he's confronted with his identity vis-a-vis who his father was, and he's like, I don't want that, because that's something I've tried to like deny and stamp down for years and years, but then he comes to terms with it at the end, and everybody is better off for it. Be who you are. And also Norrington wants to just be with Elizabeth, man. He just wants Elizabeth to like him, and he wants to marry Elizabeth, and he doesn't get that. Everybody else in this movie gets what they want, except for Norrington.
And this is why Norrington is a tragic figure.
This is why he's the tragic hero. But what's important is that everybody's wants are resolved in some way. Like, Norrington doesn't get Elizabeth, but it's not really his place. That is still resolved for him because she's with Will. And he comes to terms with that in a very clear way. Not necessarily emotionally, but he has moved on. And I think what's interesting about this movie is that the central thing that drives the whole plot is the central want is that of the villains. Because it's key that the villains should get what they want in order for the plot to be resolved. Because it's not until they lift the curse that Jack is able to avenge the pearl and avenge what was taken from him and kill Barbossa and everything else. So I think it's really interesting. But I think that's why the sequels don't work as well sometimes, because everything was tied up and then they kind of jump into it with like Will being arrested, like right before him and Elizabeth get married, and Barbossa's not dead actually, so that didn't really mean anything, that really poignant and important death. And also maybe someone's not coming to terms with becoming a pirate, and etc. etc. Jack's lost something again. It's kind of like reverting back to what they think worked about this one, but it was like you fixed it though. It was already good, and then it was fixed, and then you broke it. And if it's not Baroque, don't fix it.
Yeah, it wasn't broken, and then you tried to. It just wasn't.
Yeah. But this movie is very good. We're not going to talk about bad stuff.
Yeah, we'll get into the other ones at a later point, because Ezra was like, I can't believe you guys are talking about Pirates of the Caribbean without me. And we were like, I'm so sorry, and we love you. But also, this is something that we can talk about at literally any time. So
Yeah. This was my original idea was that we would do from the worst to the best ending with this movie, but that's okay. That way I don't have to wait to talk about Curse of the Black Pearl.
Yeah, we can just talk about Black Pearl right now, whenever we want.
Like we're doing right now. It's going so well. I love this movie so much. It makes me want to have an adventure.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is like, you know, at the end of the day we can talk about like, what does it mean as a movie, or as a piece of art? I don't know, dude. It makes me want to go out and be on a boat and have adventures with my friends and like find cursed treasure, and like sometimes it's scary and sometimes it's cool and exciting and sometimes it's funny, and it's like it's a feel-good movie for me. Like you were talking about how Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a feel-good movie. It's like this is a feel-good movie for me because it lets me feel a bunch of different stuff, but at the end of the day I know it's all going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Everything is like heightened emotion.
Yeah.
But it's like safe too.
I feel like that's probably one of the reasons why I get kind of like very emotional, not crying, but you know, could maybe cry at any moment at that ending, like I was talking about, is like, it does touch something in there that's like when they get to go off on the boat at the end of the movie, that this movie ends on somebody escaping and going off somewhere, and we don't know where it is.
And they don't really know either, probably.
And they don't know either.
Yeah. Is that a millennial mood to be like, I just want to be free? Like, I just want to be free of the trappings of, like, whatever life is being forced upon me. I just want to, like, God, I just want to be on a fucking boat and go sail places and have adventures and, like, get into sword fights and stuff. There's, like, very appealing about that. That's, like...
Yeah.
You know, it's very, like, childhood playing pretend stuff, but...
I think so. And I think that, I mean... You know, there is still a very traditional, like, heterosexual ending with Will and Elizabeth and whatever, and they get to end up together, and that feels like part of the point. But the movie doesn't end right on them. Like, it has their kiss on top of the whatever, and then the movie cuts to Jack, and he's on his boat, and he has his boat. And that's what we end with. So that feels like, even though there's a lot of things that it's playing very traditionally, there's still, like, it ends on this kind of... And Jack has always been not quite a heterosexual character, implied.
Yeah, that's
whatever.
not. I'm sorry, he's not a hetero.
No, there's no way. But regardless of whatever his sexuality could or could not be,
you ever seen a straight man with that much fucking jewelry on him? I think not.
Yeah, I mean, like it just ends on his call to freedom, I guess, which is such a stupid way of phrasing that. But you know what I mean. What I'm saying is, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about on Twitter earlier, when we say just like half sentences and everyone's like, yeah, I know what you mean. Does anyone listening know what we mean? Who knows? I don't care.
Who knows? They'll figure it out. Say, speaking of Jack Sparrow not being a heterosexual...
So this movie made me gay.
Yeah, man. Keira Knightley, though.
I know every, like, Walla Walla is like, okay, but Keira Knightley in Pirates of the Caribbean was capital F formative.
It was...
Holy smokes.
And it's in that way when you don't know it's happening until years later, and then you're like, holy shit. You watch that
until
movie,
you look back and you're like, oh, yipes.
Oh, yeah, that was the thing. And also, I mean, Orlando Bloom in this movie, of course, because as we all know, what is it? If you were a lesbian, you were attracted to Legolas, and if you were bisexual, you were attracted to Will Turner, and that's just that on that.
And that's that on that, yeah. I can't think about Legolas without thinking about that shirt that Leo has. That's the post. It's like, what does straight men think Legolas is gonna do? Top them? I have to laugh.
I mean, yeah, though. I mean,
it's true that, like, so many lesbians I knew were like, I was into Legolas because he looked like a girl, and it was like, I know you homosexual.
I mean, I also had a crush on Legolas, which I think was like my carryover of me being attracted to him as Will. So I had like the double whammy where I was like, yeah, I like the elf. He's got the long hair. He's pretty. Love that Will. He's got a vest. Love that vest. Wish I could wear it.
Yeah, love that peach scarf. Wish I could accessorize like that.
Wish I could dress like Will and do all the things that Will is doing and kiss Keira Knightley. Gee, guess there's nothing to that, huh?
Yeah, too bad I never will because that's not what girls do. Anyway, time to bury this for the next 10 years.
King baby heterosexual.
Baby heterosexual. Oh man.
King Baby is a very good book, very good picture book, by the way.
It's so good. I love King Baby. God, I had a thought and I've lost it in the wake of King Baby Heterosexual, which is the episode title.
Okay. That's fair. You go ahead.
Unless you think of a better one.
No, go for it.
King Baby Heterosexual.
It's gonna make absolutely no sense.
Yeah, like every single fucking episode we have. I set the titles. No one can stop me. None of you guys have been like, maybe I should write the titles. So,
alright. I mean, when I stop crying, I'll think of something intelligent to say. Yeah.
God, what was I going to say? Oh no, I was just going to say that like it's so funny hearing you talk about it like that because I definitely came to Lord of the Rings first, and then I went to Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was like, it's that Legolas lad, wild.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that like my imprint on Aragorn was so strong that like I think part of my attraction to Will Turner was like he looks like Aragorn kind of. That was just my type. That was just my type. Was like dark-haired, like good-hearted men with like weird facial hair. Like that was it. Who kept looking at women like the sun shone out of their ass. Yeah, I wanted to fuck them and be them.
Man, being gay is wild, you guys. I don't know if anybody's out there who hasn't had this experience, but let me assure you, it is fantastic.
Gays, you out there?
But it's so wild. It is like, I mean, yeah. If you like foreshadowing, you should try being gay.
you should try being gay sometime. Your whole life is just your whole childhood is just foreshadowing for your adulthood.
It's June. It's a perfect time to
Happy Pride
to pick up, just pick up some foreshadowing in your life and think
time
about
to
these
pick
things.
Up being homosexual. Oh man. So speaking of the script,
go for it.
We weren't speaking about the script, but I'm thinking about the script. So speaking of the script, speaking of being a child, I guess, I would say actually the script is not one of the strongest points of the movie because visually, not that it's bad, but like visually it's so strong, like so much of what's happening in the film craft is so powerful that the script is just like not quite as good. It's solid as shit. It's so fucking funny. And it's full of all these great little one-liners that like I have just held on to my entire life. Specifically the one that's like, you better start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner, you're in one.
Yeah.
So good. And then like, you're definitely the worst pirate I've ever heard of. Yeah, but you've heard of me. Stop.
The original title of this episode before we changed it to King Baby Heterosexual was that's got to be the best podcast I've ever heard of. Because that one guy that has that line, it's got to be the best pirate I've ever seen. Yeah. It's so good. And all of those little piratey nuggets of wisdom that I love so much. Like the compass doesn't point north, but we're not trying to find north, are we? And like when I was a kid, I thought that was the deepest shit. I was like, oh my god, he's so right. And it's not that
I'm deep. Almost 26, and I was like, oh, that's some real shit, huh?
Yeah. Like all that stuff that Jack says to him on the boat, says to Will on the boat in that scene where he's like, oh, what does he say?
Was this one where he's trying to convince Will that his dad was a pirate, and Will's like, no.
Yeah, he's like, you can either accept that your part was a good man, or you can't, but yada yada yada. Maybe that's not the scene that I'm thinking of, but he has so many little things.
Oh yes, there is that line where he's like, you can either you have to accept that like your father was both a pirate and a good man.
Good man, yeah,
yeah.
And then he ends it with, can you sail under the command of a pirate or can you not? It's like, look, dude.
Yeah.
Either you hang tight to these like rigid ideas of morality, or you'll learn to, get with it.
Just like being gay. You either hold on to your heterosexuality for no reason, or you just be gay.
Yeah,
What's
Will.
the better choice here, Will?
Come on, Will.
So Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl is actually an allegory for coming out. Listen to me. Have you seen how Will dresses at the beginning versus how he dresses at the end? Look, I'm just saying.
This is all vaguely a joke, but also I'm going to write this essay now.
But it's not 100% a joke. I'm not fully joking.
No, so then you have to help me write the essay. We won't write it now, but we will write it.
No. I'm just saying, he's in love with a woman, and then he spends a lot of time with this, like, very heterosexual man, and then suddenly he dresses... I don't know, I'm just saying, there's something there.
He imprints, just like I did.
Just like I did.
Yeah, there's also that really beautiful monologue on the beach when he's with Elizabeth, and she's, like, getting him drunk so she can, set all the rum on fire.
Oh, she can set all the rum on fire and set up a... God, I always think that scene happens in the second movie for some reason. Yeah. But yes.
No, yeah. Yeah, and he's, like, talking about what a ship means, and that a ship as a whole is freedom. It's not just, like, this... It's individual parts. It's what it symbolizes and what it means. Which is the scene that I used to act out with my friend Lila when I was a kid. Not, like, all the time, but it happened at least once or twice. Where, like, I already had the dialogue memorized, and I was like, oh, let's do that scene from that movie with the two of them, because that's fun. My friends are so indulgent.
We do love you. But to be fair, that scene is, like, also, I would say, one of the strongest scenes in that movie.
Yeah.
I think it changes her. Like, despite the fact that, like, both of them are playing the game. Like, she's playing it to try and, like, get him knocked out. He's playing it and, like... It's weird. He's, like, not... Like, it's weird what he's trying to do. And it's, like, I'm not entirely sure kind of what the goal is. But he has a goal that is not just, like, let's kick back, you know?
Yeah. He's reached the nadir. This is, like, the second time that he's lost the pearl. And he's kind of like, well, fuck me, I guess. I'm just gonna sit in this beach forever, and, like, maybe I'll have sex with this lady here, and we'll see what happens. That's my life forever. And she's like, I don't think so.
That's not the goal for me, anyway.
Numerous reasons. It's also great because it's kind of like the dismantling of her image of pirates in a way where she's like, oh, but you're like king baby of the pirates. You're just, like, the number one pirate. You've done all these cool things. And he's like, oh yeah,
and also your bitch. Yeah.
I actually didn't do that the way you think I did. I did it because of all of these little loopholes. And she's like, whoa, being a pirate is not actually... It's actually kind of pulling all of these tricks and not following the rules. And maybe if I just don't do that, then I can also be a pirate. Which is exactly what she does next. By tricking him into getting drunk and then burning the rum. She's so smart. I love her.
She's so smart. I love her. It just makes me think of... That actually is a good point, because it makes me think of, like, the point at the beginning where she's like, this is the Pirate's Code. You have to follow it. Like, I'm invoking it because you have to follow it. And Barbossa turns around and is like, first of all, you're not a fucking pirate. First of all, that wasn't our agreement. Second of all, you're not a fucking pirate. Third of all, they're not really rules. They're kind of like... an idea of maybe what we should do so we as a society do not fall apart, but, like, they're not fucking rules. We don't have rules. We are pirates. Yeah,
we're criminals, literally. And it's that the code is repeated several times throughout the movie. It's like invoked several times throughout the movie, and depending on, like, who's gonna follow it and who doesn't. And it's notable that, like, the crew that Jack has assembled at the end of the movie that leaves with the pearl is like, yeah, we're not going to go in after him and Elizabeth tries to invoke the code and it doesn't work. But they do come back at the end because they're like, yeah, actually, yeah. So.
But it's not because of the code. It's just because of, like, them as people.
Yeah, that was just, like, exactly the point, which is, like, what I think if this movie is about anything is kind of what this movie is about, is, like, morality doesn't lie with these social institutions. Like, it's not like Navy good, pirates bad. And it's like the pirates have a code of honor, but they're not honorable because they have a code. They're honorable just as people, and they also happen to be pirates. It's about the decisions that you make, not, like, the label that you've chosen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Love a pirate movie.
We love a pirate movie.
I love many pirate movies. Hey, do we want to watch Treasure Planet sometime?
Absolutely, I want to watch Treasure Planet. God, it's been so long since I've seen that movie.
Ugh, I love that movie so much.
Can we watch Muppet Treasure Island also?
Yes, I also love that movie. Look, so listeners, what happened?
Muppet Treasure Island.
What happened when I was a kid is I saw Curse of the Black Pearl and also read Treasure Island in the same year somehow.
Oh my god!
Which changed me
you up
as a
for
person,
life.
Set me up for life. But somehow I missed watching Muppet Treasure Island, classic, iconic
We've
film.
got cabin fever.
Muppet Treasure Island until like just a few months ago was the first time I saw it. And
wait, for real?
For real. I didn't see it until a few months ago. Oh my god, it saved me. It saved my soul.
Oh, bud.
Up there with the top Treasure Island adaptations next to Black Sails, for sure.
Yes.
But yeah,
wait, is Black Sails a Treasure Island adaptation? Hold
on.
Oh,
hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
Yes. No. Yes. Oh my god, I'm so excited for you. Whenever you do choose to watch it.
Yeah, someday I'll watch it.
It's very good. But that is a theme that's like very much in Treasure Island too, is like Long John Silver is such an enigmatic character, and it's like, do I trust him? He's really cool and he's been nice to me, but also he's an evil criminal and he's murdered people. Yeah. I mean, we all know the song. We all know that song.
We all know that song, huh?
Yeah. God, yeah. Love this movie. Have we covered everything that we wanted to talk about?
Well, I mean, you did have a point here. Kind of, I mean, I'm comparing it to Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, where, like, movies that made us care about movies. Like, movies that made us movie people. Capital M, capital V. Because we are movie people at the end of the day, despite the fact that, like, I feel like if you met some of us... If you met me in real life, I know I don't come across as a movie person, but, like, this movie made you a movie person. This was one of the ones that did that for you. Do you want to, like, talk about that?
I mean, yeah, I did cover a little bit in the script, but I feel like that is kind of what it was. I mean, there's something about, like, the movies that you keep coming back to and what those mean. And I can joke all I want about, like, my favorite movie being, you know, based on a theme park ride, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, those movies that open something up for you, that made you think about something in a different way. And if it's Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, then that's what it is. You know, I was recognizing the beats of the story, and I was recognizing when, like, without knowing the language or the terminology for it, when the first act began and ended, and when the second act began and ended, and, like, how they were choosing to set certain plot elements up and then watching the payoff of those plot elements. So I felt like it was really, I mean, it's not the most solid screenplay I've ever come across in all of my movie watching, but it's very solid. Not as solid as Hot Fuzz, let's say, which has insane setup and payoff and is so good. Hot Fuzz, which should be taught in screenwriting classes, literally, I'm not joking. But Pirates of the Caribbean, like, still, like, showed me without, like, telling me how to tell a story and how a story could be told. And for some reason, I just didn't think about it until that moment.
I mean, you were also, like, 10, so,
I was also 10.
Like,
so it's
that's,
good
I feel, a relatively early age to figure that shit out.
Yeah, I think it's just about the right time we were kind of it's like after we realized that, oh, wait, these actors don't just, like, stop whenever I put the VHS back in the, you know, the thing, and then come back out and have to reenact the whole movie again when I put the movie on. Like, it's sometime after that realization.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between there.
the two milestones.
The two major milestones, for sure.
I'd love to someday, maybe, not like a whole episode, but do, like, a segment about, like, movies that made us movie people. Because, like, I think there's a lot to talk about there. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, obviously. You know, Hot Fuzz, despite being one of my favorite movies, did not make me a movie person. Because I came to that, I think, after I started, like, unconsciously being a movie person.
Yeah.
But The Fall, for sure.
Oh, The Fall,
Which
yeah.
someday we keep trying to do an episode on The Fall and it keeps not working out, but we'll do it someday.
The Fall was like Pirates of the Caribbean for me, but with cinematography.
Yeah, The Fall made me want to make art.
Yeah.
Like, I looked at that and thought, I want to make something that makes me feel the way this makes me feel, which is an underrated emotion, and, like, there's something very overwhelming about it sometimes.
Yeah. And, like, honestly, that's Pirates of the Caribbean again for me. That just that thing of, like, what do I want to... Because you get, I'm in my 20s, and I'm taking a lot of, like, helpful, like, mentorship experiences for actors and everything, and learning a lot from people who are older than me and have been in the business for a long time. And, like, you get asked that question a lot of, like, but what do you want to do? Like, what do you care about? What do you want to... What kind of art do you want to make? And, like, when you're seriously asking yourself that, it's like, damn, I don't know.
Yeah, God, that's such a big question.
It's a huge question, but if you have to be honest with yourself, and it's like, I want to make something that makes me feel the way Pirates of the Caribbean made me feel when I was 10, and, like, makes me feel today when I'm making movies. Like, that's, it's a very simple emotion, but I feel like that's a good place to aim for.
But, I don't think that makes it any less worthwhile. Like,
yeah.
I think part of the reasons we started this show is because we got sick of people being, or I got sick anyway, of people being like, every movie has to be a piece of art. I think that movies have value. In a particular way. Yeah, movies have value when they make me feel good, when they make me happy, when they bring me joy, even if it's not, like, something I would put up in a museum. Pirates of the Caribbean is like that. Mm-hmm. Not that we shouldn't put Pirates of the Caribbean in a museum, because it is fucking art, but, like, Yeah, I mean, emotional reaction, I mean, you can't have art without that, like, that connection, at least attempting for a connection. And I know that there's a lot of, like, that's not exactly the school necessarily, with a lot of postmodernism. I mean, we could get into it with the theater thing, but, like, there's value to, like, there's value to looking at just the aesthetics, but it's also, like, art needs to have a receptor, for it to work. And it's there for you to have a reaction to it, whatever that reaction is. So it doesn't make any sense just arguing for pure... I mean, I don't know how many people are just arguing for just pure aesthetics and art for art's sake.
And art for art's sake. Sorry, Oscar, wherever you are. But, art for morality's sake, or art to have a meaning that is either political or moral or ethical or... Mm-hmm. God, I spend a lot of time thinking about this, don't I? I don't think about a lot that's serious, so this is the one thing I allow myself. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We could go so deep into this topic. Let's not do it right now, but, like... This is a teaser.
Yeah. What is the value of art? Welcome to Sneople at the Movies. Ostensibly a comedy movie review podcast. It's not. Just kidding. Gotcha, suckers.
Pirates of the Caribbean, good. Brecht has his
Fine.
points. Some other people we'll talk about later.
I was literally complaining about Brecht, like, yesterday.
Well,
I think we were watching Survivor. I don't know why watching Survivor made me complain about Brecht, but I was sitting there like, fuck this Brechtian nonsense. This is awful.
Look, I think we had a bad experience with Brecht.
We did.
We did a play that our in high school that our teacher tried to say it's Brechtian, which, like, to be fair,
it became a meme.
Yes, sure, it was kind of Brechtian. It wasn't good Brechtian theater. It wasn't really in the Brechtian style. Was it kind of an insult to Brecht himself? Yeah, a little bit. Tony Kushner. My God,
we put everything on the front burner, didn't we?
We did. God damn it. Tony Kushner is the only one who's allowed to talk about Brecht, so I'll just shut up. I'll just let him talk about Brecht and let that happen.
Let's just let it be. Let's not talk about fucking Brecht right now. We're talking about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Good old Bertolt Brecht. Somewhere out there.
Why does this happen to us?
He's calling us right now. I feel like he's just really angry at us somewhere, and I understand, but...
And we deserve it, honestly.
And we deserve it right now, because we're doing some dirt on his name. But he'll have to let it pass for now. It.
Yeah, no, he doesn't forgive me. Yeah. Anyway,
unusual double features.
Yeah, let's go over those real quick. I had a couple. I think Indiana Jones, specifically, you said The Last Crusade, in terms of like actiony, kind of well toned. We talk not muscles as in like color tone. I guess muscles also, but like sepia tone, like good lighting. They have a kind of a similar vibe. You said The Mummy, actually. I think the Mummy and Pirates of the Caribbean, specifically the Brendan Fraser Mummy, would be a great double feature. I think that would be a fucking blast. And then also Princess Bride.
Yes, which I wrote down because you were talking about the way that they synchronize the music to those fights. And there's a particular moment that just gets me in The Princess Bride so badly, like makes me genuinely emotional. Which, you know, it's been out for a while, so we're going to talk about it. Spoilers.
Spoilers for The Princess Bride.
When Inigo is fighting the Count in that last scene, and he's like up against the wall, and the Count just like starts hitting his sword against it, and it goes bum, 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 and it's like oh shit, oh, and then he's like up, and it's amazing. It's just used to such good effect, and the fights in general are very similar to what you were talking about with a lot of like how they were staged. They're very theatrical.
Great use of
very
space.
much a set. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm thinking of specifically. Yes, that is the one I was thinking of.
Yep.
Delightful. Yeah, so you need to do Princess Bride, The Mummy, or Indiana Jones. Any of them. I'm more of a particular fan of the first one, but I think the main consensus is Last Crusade. I also said The Brothers Grimm, but I think in terms of the list, that's like, I would take that off the list.
I mean, you could make... Brothers Grimm is very sepia-toned, also.
Yeah, for me it was the kind of general aesthetic of them, of like kind of weird, creepy, like kind of a fairy tale, but kind of not.
Right.
Like, everything is a heightened story, that kind of vibe. I think they have kind of similar tones to the story. But
yeah, I could see that.
So, yeah, that would be the unusual double features.
Movie marathon, all of those movies.
God, yeah, that's our next movie marathon, I guess.
We ready to wrap up?
I believe so, yeah. I think,
right.
Take us away, Helena.
Okay. Well, thank you for hanging out with us here on Sneople at the Movies from the Infinity Break Network. Check out infinitybreak.net for more awesome content, and come hit us up on Twitter at people_snake, or shoot us an email at sneopleatthemovies@gmail.com. All lowercase, just in case you were wondering for some reason. Our amazing music was done by Johnny Ronaldo, who you can find at Johnny Ronaldo on Twitter. Our super snazzy, amazing logo, I love it so much, was designed by Bethany Luthold. Please check her out at bethanyluthold.wixsite.com. That's WIXSITE.com. If you got a subject you want to hear us talk about, a movie you think we absolutely need to see, or a hot take on the Legolas versus Will Turner debate, please come say hello, drop us a line, write an essay about the Legolas versus Will Turner debate on wherever you want to do it. I will understand and support you for doing that. You're so valid. Also, if you can, please leave a review on iTunes and share the show with any friends you think would enjoy it. This is the 11th episode, you said?
This is the 11th episode.
Holy shit. So, this is the 11th episode, so it's still early days, but we're getting into it. But it's still early on, so anything you can do to help spread the news helps us so much, and we really appreciate it. So thank you. And as always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you at the movies.